the saddest part of this is the only thing that anyone would know that this is paradise, that Joseph came here, the Holy Grail, Mary Magdalene, King Arthur, the Knights Table, the Knights Round Table, and everything else in between. This is it.
Why don't more people know about this?
I haven't got a clue. So here we've got the plaque for Paradise Dairies showing Joseph of Arimathea's legend sojourning at Paradise. Now as you step back you'll see that, well, this whole area was given to Burnham as a garden from the owners of Paradise Dairies. Paradise was basically a hamlet. This road here, now called Barrow Road, was called Paradise Road. Here you go, so here's the trees are part of the garden. The trees is part of the garden, and it being the Garden of Eden having the tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. But also, as you look round behind you, you look at the path they put in. There's a cross. Now, as we step along further, you will see in the background from here. You see Shelley Drive. Now notice this one there as we come back round. Shelley, that's the point. It's a ley line conjunction here, the main ley line that comes through. In the distance is Holy Mount Zion, where the Garden of Eden sits at the foot of Mount Zion. And we will go even further into the Mount Zion story, Yahweh and the Cherubim, in the next instalment of Pathfinders.
Like 30% sure that this has been bricked up at some point. May have been a doorway going through to somewhere else.
There once was a door for the rich, not the poor.
Way!
Portal to somewhere. Oh, it works in Harry Potter.
Okay, so this is the lower lighthouse, which was designed by Joseph Nelson, and it is actually in line with the high or occulting lighthouse, which means hidden. As you can see, we can't see it from here. Now the key relevance to this is also over there you have, by the church tower, you have the original lighthouse, the Trinity lighthouse. Trinity means three, first one of three. Very strange. Then secondly, the ley line that goes from Cork Harbour straight through here, straight through those two lighthouses, onto Glastonbury, onto Stonehenge, is one of the major ley lines that go throughout the planet. This in the Paradise story is important because that Joseph of Arimathea landed here, he sojourned here in Paradise, and he called it Paradise because it was such luscious pastures, it reminded him of the Garden of Eden. Over here is where the original River Sega was. You'll just see someone in the distance. That's now dried up because of the shifting sands and the dunes. The river's dried up. There's a remnant there called Brent Broads, which we will see shortly. That is this section of the Paradise. Okay, the original story of the Holy Grail, or in the French, Estuary Saint Grail, written by Robert de Boron, a French Norman baron. Estuary Saint Grail, they're told you means history of the Holy Grail. It actually means the Holy Grail estuary. And here is the Severn estuary, also the Holy Grail estuary. It's the same thing. This river, or one river, has 4 branches off that feed the Garden of Eden, paradise, and each 4 of these rivers, the River Parrot, the River Brue, the River Axe, and what was the River Seager is now Brent Broad, are all sluiced. Sluiced water to feed the garden, controlled, and that's exactly what the 4-headed watercourse of the Garden of Eden offered the one sacred river, the Holy Grail estuary. Although you can't actually see it from here, the High or Colton Lighthouse is literally just behind this tree, and we'll get round to the main road, we'll be able to see it better. But an interesting story is the house opposite is called Pharos, which means is the original word for lighthouse. The original lighthouse in Pharos in Egypt, Alexandria, and then there's a house here called Whitestones. There's a house down that road called Greystones. I always want to think to myself, why are they called white stones? Because there were huge, large, massive white stones all the way down the seafront, all the way down the River Parrot. Now we're told that they were put there by King Alfred the Great. And I'm sure it wasn't him, but much, much older. But that is on to another story in the next chapter. So this lighthouse, as you can see, has a big red line down it. That lines up with the lower lighthouse of the red line for what we're told is Maritime, to line them up to keep, so that they know the distance for the depth of the channel, so we don't get stuck, because it is a very dangerous sea. It's actually one of the most dangerous shipping lanes in the world, as well as the second highest the fastest rising and falling tide in the world. So after talking to William Henry and also watching his videos, I thought that this particular gate is a rather ornate gate. It looks a bit like a spaceship, doesn't it, if you look like it? Or a Stargate.
Focus.
Stargates. And also, just here, William Henry pointed out that in all time travelling films, they had a telephone box at the Stargate. There was a telephone box just there, past the lamppost.
Paradise is an anagram, side wrapper.
Thank you for watching this episode of Pathfinders. Hope you enjoyed it, and we will have part 2 of Paradise coming soon. Cheers.